Hey everybody, Charles Sim here from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. We are here on the mighty Mississippi River in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and I'll let you know the fishing is not very mighty. All my research said this place was loaded, tons of fish. You checked out the past events and you know, guys are getting 10, 20, 30 fish a day, but it's not gonna be like that. The water's down at least 1.5 or 2 feet. It's very warm, 84 degrees. Past events were always held here in May or June, so you were getting shallow fish that were up and spawning. With the low water, these fish have pulled out. The grass flats where people would frog like crazy all day, they're non-existent right now. They're just almost sandbars. So it's gonna be an interesting event. You know, guys are experimenting different kind of fishing, looking a little more offshore, main river bank. Myself and the guys I run with all had really tough practice, you know, anywhere from 1 to 3 keepers a day, which is not going to cut it here at all. I've heard a few people that are getting limits, but they're few and far between. I think this year, this event, you're going to see the weights down from normal. Typically 15 pounds a day would win. I might even think it's going to be less than that. You know, with a 5 fish limit, you're going to get a couple guys hitting a couple 4-pounders, but to get 3s to back those up and 2.5s might be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to call winning weight just under 45 pounds, or sorry, just under 15 pounds a day. So 58 pounds. Check weight, I bet if you can get yourself 11 pounds a day, maybe 10.5 pounds a day, you're gonna get paid. So we'll see what comes. Stay tuned, watch us on live. It'll be a good week.
What's up guys, Dave Williams here. We're up here on La Crosse, the upper Mississippi River this week. Just wrapped up day 2 of practice, and just gonna give you a little heads up on what's going on with me. I have sampled pools 8 and 9 so far the last 2 days. It's kind of a dilemma whether to lock through. I've caught fish in both pools, but locking through, you got a lot of barge traffic to deal with. So it's, you know, it's a big decision to make this week. It's been very random for me. Catching fish a couple different ways. Haven't found any big groups. Typically, I think up here on the upper Mississippi, usually you find a fish, you'll find some groups, you know, and you can basically sit on those groups all day long and catch fish, but I haven't found that this week. It's been very random, just catching one fish here, one fish there, but there's some good fish biting. I mean, you know, I look for it to take 11 or 12 pounds to make the money this week, probably around 16, 17 a day, probably to win it. But check us out in the next couple days. We'll get started with the tournament.